Welcome to Tigs Bits. It's just Blasi and me on here tonight. We're going to be talking about the Penn Gaming ESPN partnership with that whole new ESPN Bet deal. Dave Portnoy regaining 100% control back of Barstool, and the latest in the shock jock world. And of course, we got to get Blasi's takes on last week's show about UFOs. So let's get into it. Yeah, Blasi, it's good to have you back in studio this week, man. Happy to get into it. Of course, we're missing JR tonight. JR is not having fun. I assure you, he would rather be on here recording with us and going forward. Dude had a hot water heater bust in his house and flood all of his tiles. He's been having to deal with that stuff every day.
It busted in the walls, too. So it's like the walls going to the floor. You saw those pictures. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's terrible,
he's got a
dude.
mess.
Yeah.
He's got a mess.
He really does. He really does. So needless to say, no handler this week. He will be missed, but the show must go on. So, man, we're going to talk about some stuff. I know that you may not be as familiar with it, but you understand the circumstances, Chad. Just today, Penn Gaming, who owns in Louisiana, owns the LaBerge casinos. There's other casinos, I believe, that are Penn Gaming ones as well, in Shreveport and Bossier. But they own LaBerge here in Baton Rouge, one in Lake Charles. They had acquired Barstool Sports 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember exactly when it was, but not too long ago. They took that brand, they put in sports books, labeled them or branded them as Barstool Sports, all of that stuff. Dave Portnoy being a part of that. So Penn has reached an agreement with ESPN to move basically all of their branding sports stuff over to them, to the ESPN brand, which, wow, that's going to be huge.
That's
ESPN
crazy.
Bet is what it's going to be called.
Wow. Just dominating.
So that partnership, absolutely. Dave Portnoy, who I think more importantly is the one in this deal, he's the one who comes out of this thing smelling like roses. He gets Barstool Sports back. He made $500 million on this transaction. He gets it back for nothing, and he has full control over his brand again. And you know, that brand, controversial at times for sure, the way that they, kind of got famous and all of that good stuff. But, man, it's going to be crazy. It's
going to be real crazy, man. That's, one of the first things I think about, and I guess it really doesn't matter now because everything's off the table here. But, ESPN owns basically every bowl game except for like a couple, right? So now
Disney.
The organization that owns all the bowl games now also has a gambling site. But now you've got NIL, you've got all this other stuff. I guess that just kind of opened the floodgates to do whatever you want to do and however you want to do it. I'm under the opinion, like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, we'll get back to that. But, dude, I think if you're an athlete, and you want to bet on yourself to win, who cares? Like, as long as you're not betting on yourself to lose, like, isn't that the saying in life? I bet on myself. Well, a boxer does it all the time, puts his purse on himself and goes out there, hey, if I lose the fight, I'm losing all my money too. So who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know, but that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy for sure.
It is. It's crazy how sports is now, all these years, the whole stigma of betting, sports betting, all that, athletes can't do it. They're still not supposed to do it, at least not in their sport. I don't know all of their rules and all that, but they're not, I know they're not supposed to be doing that. That's something that's come up just in listening to early fall camp things that they're talking about just here in Baton Rouge, here at LSU, with don't even have those apps on the phone, on your phone kind of stuff, just don't even make it hard. They can track you. The casinos can track the players. They can see their activities because it has geo fencing and all that stuff. it's insane what all is happening, but sports is just becoming a big gambling business. That's all that it is turning into. I guess because I know it's because it's the only way that they can continue to make money, that they can continue to stay open, they can continue to stay alive, and to be able to keep it going, because when it comes down to butts in the seats, people watching on
you can only do
TV
so much of that.
and all that,
You've got to drive revenue and find growth somewhere else. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But man, what is it going to do to sports? You're not going to hear this on sports talk radio. You're not going to, because guess who funds sports talk radio? All of these gambling sites. I mean, you're not going to hear them start to bash all of that stuff. But, dude, I'm telling you right now, gambling and all of this stuff, this kind of deal is going to absolutely ruin all sports. It's going to ruin kids that are in college. It already is. The whole NIL deal. We're not going to get into all of that. But, dude, this is not – I mean, I don't think this is a good thing whatsoever for sports as a whole. Mark this day. Remember the day that ESPN got involved in legal gambling. A company that controls the way that you consume sports now is going to try to attract you to start to bet on the same sports, and you're fooling your damn self if you don't think they're going to be involved in the outcome of said sport.
Absolutely they are, man. 100% they are. I mean, you got full control. You're already running, like we talked about, even in college football, collegiate sports, they're running the whole bowl system. They own it all. Hey, as a group of five guy, as a Troy fan, so for me, it's great because of ESPN Plus and everything they're doing there. I can watch every single game. So I appreciate what they're doing to a certain level, but now you start to wonder, what's happening to college football as we know it. And at the largest level, it's turned into a full pro game almost. And traditional college football, this is a whole nother conversation to me, though, is still found at the group of five schools a little bit, because there's stuff going on, but not at that level. You know what I mean? There's smaller deals. Right. Somebody maybe doing something with a mattress store down the road, and they're getting $300 or $400 a month, which is fine. But dude, these people making $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $8 million a year in NIL, and then now you've got legalized gambling from the same people that run the bowl games. That's going to be.
How do you police it? How do you police it?
That's the issue. That's the issue, and something's got to be done. I know the NCAA is just terrified. They don't want to do anything. Yeah,
they should be. I mean, I and all of this, and you still can't get freaking Pete Rose into the Hall of Fame, for God's sakes. But I mean, Major League Baseball. I have the MLB package. I love baseball, especially this time of year whenever divisions are starting to be decided, playoff, wild cards, all that stuff starting to turn. I love this time of year in baseball. Dude, they cram that crap down your throat on there too. Everything is turned into spreads, lines, over-unders, all of that stuff. And look, I mean, I'm not knocking anybody who wants to have a little action on a game. Not at all. I get it. Whatever. But it's basically just going. I mean, it's just teaching. It's teaching the young folks the wrong thing, the wrong way. I sound like a boomer over here. I don't really care. I don't think that gambling in sports. They spent all these years, all this time to label it is so bad and it can't be done, and then all of a sudden, oh, the hell, it can't be done. Yeah, here it is. Welcome aboard. We love this stuff, man. We should have open gambling. They should be able to bet on themselves in game. Go to the referee, call a timeout. Go place a bet at the damn midcourt with some. I mean, where's this end? Where does this end?
It's crazy. You brought up Pete Rose, man. I mean, that's just such a shame. You know what I mean? I understand what he did was not right, but dude, there's nothing to prove that he still states to this day, all he did was bet on himself to win. And it's like this guy's been just absolutely banished from baseball. All these other people have done so much, and here this cat is. And now you're looking ESPN's running the whole thing. It's a whole gambling match, and then Pete's still sitting out there on the outside scrambling, doing autographs in malls. Trying to keep his head above water when he should have been doing way more in baseball. Anyway, that's another conversation. But I did get to meet Pete Rose one time.
Oh, nice. Charlie Hustle, baby.
Oh, I dang sure did. He was so cool. I'll tell you a real quick story on Pete. So I went to a Cincinnati Reds game. He was managing and playing at the time. I'm there with my sister's boyfriend, who's from Cincinnati, right across the river, Bellevue, Kentucky. And so we go to the game. Well, he's friends with Barry Larkin's girlfriend. So we had pretty cool tickets. We sat with Barry Larkin's girlfriend, which was awesome. Well, we're leaving the game. I thought we were leaving the stadium, and we ended up in the tunnel right outside the locker room. Dude, I got to meet Eric Davis, Jose Rijo, Barry Larkin, who else was it? Pete Rose. Man, just basically the entire team. They spent time with me. Well, Pete Rose comes out. He's the last one. I hadn't met him yet, and big time fan. He was still chasing Ty Cobb's record at the time. He comes out of the locker room, turns right, and he's gone. He's like probably 50, 75 yards away, and she yells at him, "Hey, Pete." Calls him back down there. He walks back down there, says, "I want you to meet somebody." And, dude, he could have just been cool. He was like, "Nice to meet you, young man. Here's my autograph. Y'all have a good day." Yeah. Dude, he stopped everything he was doing. He spent about 10 minutes with me sitting there talking about baseball.
Wow.
Dude, huge Pete Rose guy. You know what I mean? Just for that alone to take
cool.
that much time. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah. So, anyway, there's my Pete story. You said Pete. That kind of strikes a nerve. I'm a big Pete Rose guy.
I never knew that. All these years I've known you, you never told me the Pete Rose story. That's freaking awesome, dude. Wow. Yeah. Holy cow. Yep. Charlie freaking Hustle, man. Charlie Hustle. But yeah, it is crazy. Kind of wrap this up with the ESPN deal. But what will happen? What's going to happen 10 years from now, 15 years from now? They're the first. But, CBS is going to get involved with freaking Caesars, and, NBC will align with MGM or whatever, this is the beginning of the way that the sports model is going to be in the 2020s and 2030s. Which is
maybe the Pac-12 becomes just a big gambling organization. And they'll just pull in all types of teams. They're down to what? Two teams, four teams.
I think they're down to the Pac-4.
And they're already talking about, Cal and Stanford going somewhere. The ACC. Yeah, the ACC had meetings yesterday or today or sometime talking about bringing them into the Pac-2.
Oh, you need to have a daily podcast on the evolvings of that whole situation, because it's ever evolving. It's going to be evolving while the football season is happening, which is going to be something to behold. So anyhow, wrapping up that with the ESPN deal, the thing I'm most happy about in this transaction is Dave Portnoy regaining 100% control of Barstool. God knows what will be coming out from that. Are there any shows that you watch on Barstool? You've got Pardon the interruption. Pardon my take.
Yeah.
Pardon the interruption. That show sucks. Speaking of ESPN.
It's just no comment. It's like my mama told me, right? You ain't got nothing good to say. Just don't say nothing at all. So I'll move on that one. But no, dude. So, I started with Barstool a long time ago, and they were just a simple app on your phone or just a website or app. I can't remember which one, but it was very simple. It was just news, little stories, and then their little takes on everything. And it was so good. It was just
couple chicks in bikinis.
Lighthearted. Yeah, they throw that in there as well. But, dude, it was just so simple and so cool. It was like the Man Show developed a sports talk.
Sports app.
Little app. Yeah, that's really what it was. So, but since then it's evolved so much, in so many different directions. Your pizza reviews, those are always still cool. And then, but that Bustin' with the Boys, that little podcast is really good, man. Like I really enjoy that one. When I'm sitting around doing computer work, I'll put that one on and watch it a lot. So, but yeah, man, that's cool. Good for him. He's got his creative control back. He's got full autonomy to do what he wants to do, and man, let him do it. Man. You know what I mean? The handcuffs are off, and he's back. It's about like when out of Atlanta, Decatur, the rap group, Wheels of Steel, keep me going. I'm one away.
You're losing me.
Wheels of Steel, tell me how you feel. Who is that, man?
I have never heard that song.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Oh, Outkast. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I mean,
Outkast.
Okay, Outkast.
That's Miss Johnson.
Wheels of
Outkast.
Steel. I don't know that one.
Yeah, Wheels of Steel. Anyway, so, dude, when they
Check it
finally got where they could kind of get their own creative control back and started doing their thing, that's when let's have fun again. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, they got kind of trapped into something, and then when finally they got released from that, they started making great music. So, yeah, I love Outkast.
Oh, there's no tell. I mean, here's what I think will happen with Portnoy. Either they're just going to go balls to the wall, hardcore, get back to their roots kind of deal, piss a bunch of people off, do a bunch of controversial things, be a lot of fun to watch, or he'll be dead within a year. One of the I don't think there's going to be a lot of in between. I'm pulling for the former, not the latter, for the record.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I mean, where else will we know to eat good pizza if you can't have El Presidente let you know where to go? Because he's just proven over the years to be extremely trustworthy and a great stand-up guy.
I'm 99% sure my pizza consumption since that show has increased by a minimum of 20%. So the whole pizza industry owes him so much, because
they
I'll
really
watch
do.
that, and then I'll start thinking about pizza, and I'm like, oh man, I really want some pizza,
Makes you just like, I want to go get some Kraft pizza somewhere, not just,
really good pizza.
But I can tell you one pizza not to get. The one bite everybody knows the rules, frozen pizza that you can pick up at Walmart and other fine establishments. Don't waste your time and or money on that. I think Dave would even tell you that. He quit pimping that after about a month. And I haven't seen it in a while. They may have quit making it. It was terrible. I did try it.
I didn't try it.
You can sell a pizza one time, but can you sell it again? That's the biggest deal. And I've yet to find any frozen pizza that I will keep coming back to. They don't exist. But
no, it fills a void. It's okay. I do like the croissant DiGiorno pizza, that croissant little thing, because it's a frozen pizza.
DiGiorno has
right.
Yeah, it's edible. It's edible. But look, Blasi, this is your specialty. This is your time to shine. What is the latest in the shock jock world of the likes of Bubba the Love Sponge, Mike Calta, or whatever?
Mike Calta. Yeah, he dropped the cow head. Calta.
What's the latest with these guys?
Man, it's crazy. So it's funny. Yesterday, there's a guy. His name's Tuttle, Tuddle. He's got his, you can follow him on Twitter. He does a little podcast and stuff. Well, Tuttle used to be on Bubba the Love Sponge as kind of a, I forget the term, but like he would have him out doing crazy stunts. He was kind of a stunt guy, you know what I mean? And so, but he hadn't been with the show in a while. But he tweeted something. It said, Tampa radio versus Orlando. You should never push and shove people. You should never treat people that way. And I was like, I don't know what Tuttle's talking about. I couldn't find any reference point. Well, then today, a video surfaces of Bubba the Love Sponge nemesis, Mike Calta, in a restaurant. Looks to be at some sort of a meet and greet. And there's a lady sitting probably 3.5 feet in front of him, recording him as he's talking with her phone. And he starts yelling at her, or telling her at the time to stop recording, right? So,
yeah.
And she's like, he was like, why are you recording me? You should be recording all those people behind you that are all here to see me. And then he grabs the phone from her and starts recording, holding the phone up high, recording the audience, telling her how stupid she is, calling her the C word. I mean, just kind of, it's like, I understand somebody's got a camera in front of you and they're filming you, but like to behave that way as a man towards a lady, it was.
You also need to remember that somebody is in front of you with a camera, and apparently somebody else with another camera that filmed this.
Yeah. So there's a guy off to the right, or gal, or somebody filming this, episode going down between these two. And then he holds the phone up, and he's holding it away from her, and she's like, just give him my phone back. Give him my phone. That's my phone, And at this point, she's got a valid point. The security guard's just standing there.
For sure.
Kind of hedging her away. It's like, dude, you have her property. Hand her phone back. Well, she reaches to grab her phone. She doesn't reach to hit him. She goes for her phone, And this dude, man, shoves her away, pushes her away, then puts his hand in her face and shoves her basically almost to the ground, and then just dresses her down, calling her a stupid, C word and all this. And it was so disrespectful. I mean, and then he sits there and continues as they're pushing her away, the security guard, and he gets on her phone and continues doing whatever he was doing on her phone. And that's where the video ends, if somebody recorded him do that. So I don't know if he deleted the video that she had. I'm sure he probably did, or whatever happened after that. But what I did hear this afternoon, that he was not on his show this morning, that Cox Media kept him off the air this morning. I'm not sure that's 100% true, but that's what I heard looking on Twitter. Bubba hadn't talked about this at all. I was watching his show this morning. He didn't comment on it whatsoever. So, dude, I don't know. This is kind of interesting.
Yeah, this
it may
is
grow some legs.
This is. It sounds like it could. I don't think this is. I don't know if that whole Alex Stein Bubba deal that we've talked about a month ago or so on the show. They've become friends again. It's worked itself out. I don't know if that was an angle or what to kind of help promote Alex Stein with this boxing deal that he effed up.
Just to add some heat to the mix. Yeah, before he threw the
it's just wrestling move stuff. Absolutely. I mean, it's what they do. But this seems to be a real deal. But I fully expect Bubba to have some kind of a comment about it. I can tell you this though, Chad. I know that you are completely Bubba Army. I'm Bubba Army by default, and I'm Bubba Army because I choose to be as well. I enjoy Bubba, and it's been fun getting to know more about them and digging in and going down the rabbit hole, learning a lot more. But I can tell you one thing that I do know about Bubba the Love Sponge: he wouldn't do that to a woman ever.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's something that he would not do. So I find it to be extremely low of this dude, Mike, whatever his
Mike
name, Calta.
His whole demeanor around that, even if you said, "Oh, my arm went that way," no, dude, the things you were saying to this lady before,
no, he forcefully moved that arm.
Yes, he did really hard. He's a big dude. She weighs maybe 110 pounds, and he's a 300-400 pound dude. I don't know. He's big,
big old boy. Yeah,
and he's a big New Yorker guy. He plays this tough guy act, dude, and here he is doing this to a lady, just a bully, man. And it's just a shame. Like, trust me, there's things you could say about Bubba that's like, oh, he shouldn't have done this, But dude,
there's plenty.
That is awful, though, man. There's just no excuse for what he did and how he was just so dismissive of her and get out of here, you stupid, whatever. So it was just terrible, man. So I'll be shocked if he keeps his job there. And I'll be even more shocked. Hey, it'd be crazy. Bubba comes flying back in on the back end. They come begging Bubba to come back to save the station. Because, dude, his ratings were twice as high as what Calta's been able to maintain since he's been there after Bubba left. So, I mean, why wouldn't you bring Bubba back? He's been pretty clean as a whistle for the last,
he's running
5,
a good, clean
years.
operation, right?
He's doing great. Yeah, why wouldn't you bring him on? But, and Bubba might look at them and go, you know what? You keep it, boys.
Screw
good
you.
Luck drowning.
Yeah,
I don't know. He'd probably take it back because he could keep
money
doing
talks,
what he's doing.
Money talks,
He owns his own content. He can continue to do everything he's doing. And then, by the way, just put me on that station too, and give me 400,000. And let's keep rolling.
Absolutely.
Whatever,
Well, I got to feel Bubba's coming back strong. There's no doubt about it. His social media presence is definitely gaining traction. His YouTube, the videos they're putting out, everything is it's been fun. It's been fun to be on the shock jock ride, if you will. But it's interesting. It's like our little soap opera here on Tigs Bits. There's that little segment of the show where we talk about the soap opera. This whole show has basically been a soap opera about everything ESPN. I don't know how it turned into this, but hey, this is the state of the world in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're at. Okay,
welcome to the days of our lives.
That's it. That is it, and that I think that's probably going to be the name of this show. And that's what happens as you're going. Days of Our Lives. That is the name of this show, and I've already got the thumbnail in mind. Boom. I love it.
Dude.
I love it. But look, before we get into any more of the show, we need to thank our sponsors, Chad. Boil
Absolutely.
Boss.
Boil Boss.
Bayou47.com, man. Those guys are making engravings, wood engravings like this Tigs bits that I have over here. They can do anything. Just they're getting started there, and
I got to get some Troy stuff.
I'm a big supporter. Oh yeah, we're gonna get. We're absolutely gonna get some of that done. And look, if you're listening to this on the podcast, don't forget to follow the page. Leave us a review. It helps the algorithm to get this in front of more people. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and then hit that notification button so that you get notified anytime we drop a new podcast, which is every week. We're dropping you a new podcast. So do those things. Of course, you can go to tigsbits.com as well for all of the latest. The show's growing, and we want to keep that show growing. You know, we want to keep this thing moving along. But anyhow, last week, unfortunately,
before you get into that, so also, since our good buddy JR the Handler's not here, you also can go to jrthehandler.com. You'll pick up some JR the Handler swag. Go to his website. He's got some really cool shirts with his, face and the handler on there. Dude, I've got one. I wear it all the time. And so he's got some other stuff on there, too, that you can check out. But, yeah, go to jrthehandler.com. Check that out, man. Pick up something from our buddy over there. He's got some nice shirts just stacked up waiting to mail out to you.
I mean, what better name than JR the Handler? I mean, it's so fantastic. It's awesome. I still can't believe that you were able to bring him on as a guest, and then he's just never left, and it's awesome.
Come on in, hang out.
I don't want him to leave.
Don't
misunderstand. I don't want him to leave. It's just like, well, just come on in here, man. Let's have us a visit, and you can stay a while if you'd like. In fact, why don't you? Let's just do this permanently. And now here we are. So, there'll be some weeks where you're not able to join in like last week. There may be a week where I'm not able to join in and you boys do a show, but whatever. We got to keep the train rolling, even if it's mindless, endless, and wasteful time like this last 3 minutes has been for you out there listening. But that's why we decided to pack this more into the middle towards the end of the show this week. Not at the beginning. I didn't want to lose you in the beginning. And if you made it this far into the podcast, then God bless you. You're a great supporter of the show, and we appreciate you. And go ahead and share this thing. Share it with your friends. Send it to somebody in a text. Look, if you're somewhere out and you really are a fan of this show, and I know that we have some of you out there,
for sure we do.
Take their phone, go to YouTube, find Tigs Bits Podcast. You just type that in the little search thing, Tigs Bits Podcast. It's going to pop right up. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers over there. We're moving there quickly, but we can get there quicker, and we need your help with that. So anyhow, I digress. Chad, I'm done. I'm done with the spill. I want to come back to the show, and I got to get your take. I know that you couldn't be a part of it with us last week, and we hate that you weren't because it was a good discussion. I know that you have some thoughts, but we talked about, of course, UFOs, that congressional hearing, all of that. I know you watched the show. Do you have any thoughts or any takeaways, anything you want to add to that the handler and I did not cover?
Man, so here's the thing. Like my whole life, like when it comes to UFOs, right? As a kid, like it was like, everybody was scared and all this different things. I also went through the time where we thought, they told us on a certain date in like 1982 the world was going to end. And I remember we had a giant pecan tree, and I went out there and chained myself to it, and I was like, this world may end, but this pecan tree ain't going nowhere. And it was a certain time, like 10:20 a.m., and about 10:30, although nothing happened yet. I reckon I ain't got a chain from this thing. So I've always been a little bit like, hey, I'm not gonna sit here and call people crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Like this. Hey, this whole world's crazy. We're sitting here having a conversation, this is wild just to begin with. Every day you wake up, it's kind of crazy, that we're all doing this, So to think that there's somebody else somewhere else out there in that giant universe, dude, that's never crossed my mind as crazy thought. That is makes more sense than not,
It really does.
So but it is interesting to see that the government is actually starting to have some transparency here, and they're having these hearings, and they're talking about these things, because they're all like, oh my God, everybody's going to go into a panic. No, we're not. We all know this. There's something going on out there. Somewhere. It's not just us.
No, it's like JR said. If you go to some civilization that doesn't have the internet, doesn't have technology, TV, anything, they're just some tribe in the middle of the rainforest or something like that, and you tell them, hey, UFOs and aliens are real, they're going to be like, yeah, no shit,
of course they are.
Yeah,
you idiot,
duh. Y'all been trying to explain this for years. We know the truth. Go look at the Mayan ruins, for God's sakes. Come on.
Yeah, I saw this thing the other day, and I want to watch it. I have not seen this documentary, but this guy, his name's James Fox, and he did this documentary called Moment of Contact. And he went down to Brazil, and there was a story about this UFO that crashed. And there was some sort of an alien life form that was taken in. And so many witnesses were around this, the people that drove them in the car, the people at the hospital, the people, and the government shut everybody down, threatened everybody. If you talk about it, your life is going to be awful. It's not one or two people telling this story. It is so many people that came in contact with the situation.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I haven't seen it yet, but I saw it. Yeah, I saw it on that podcast Concrete, which is a really good podcast.
Right.
Check this guy out. I love what that guy does. I love the guest he has on. He had James Fox on there for 3 hours, dude. They sit there and talk. And this guy's not the nut, with the crazy hair. This dude is just really
he doesn't have the aluminum foil and all that stuff. He isn't. He isn't nuts.
No,
he isn't
dude.
Nuts.
And
he definitely lays it out in a.
Yeah, so much time and energy on this project, and the amount of evidence, as it relates to so many different people reporting the exact same thing, seeing the exact same thing, describing everything the same. It's pretty overwhelming. You can't get that many people to conspire on that. So
no.
So yeah, man, dude. It's for me. I know there's something. I'll tell you. I had an experience when I was in high school, or actually just out of high school. We were myself, a buddy of mine named Marty Campbell. Marty listens to the show all the time. And
I know a Marty Campbell.
Yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Yep.
Different one, I guarantee.
Oh, a different one? Yeah. But Marty comments on the show sometimes, too. So.
That one? Okay. Well, I know two of them then.
Yeah. So Marty, I grew up with Marty. Marty's one of those dudes that was so weird as a kid. I was this idiot. I was just a 16-year-old idiot. He's rebuilding engines, playing the drums, and doing, he's like a grown man at 16. And I'm just like, how do you know how to do all this stuff? So, but anyway, one night we're in his truck, and he's done dressed me up, tip to tail in some cowboy stuff. There's this, out in the middle of the woods, there's this barn. And they do it's just it's just a big country western night. And I was like, we're going. I think I got my Holstein boots on, cowboy hat. We're heading out to, hey, we're going to try to find some ladies out here tonight,
Hell yeah.
But you got to go through the woods to get there. There ain't no street lights, ain't nothing. You're out in the middle, in Blue Springs, Alabama somewhere. In the middle of nowhere. We're driving that truck. Dude, the night is early. It's not like we were messed up or anything like that. We're sober as we could be. And, dude, we're driving, and suddenly I see these 3 orbs. I'll just describe them. And it was a little bit overcast, which kind of sucks, because it took away from the clarity of what I was trying to see. But dude, these 3 orbs were kind of in front of us, just moving. You know what I mean? But I didn't think that much about it, right? I just I don't know what I'm seeing up there. But, dude, and then I just keep watching them, and, dude, they're just getting kind of more, like, quicker and more powerful. And there's 3 of them. They're kind of almost like a dance pattern. Like, as I'm driving down this country road, and I'm like, that's really strange. And I was like, there's, like, an airport. There's no airport. We're in the middle of nowhere. No, that's not what it is. And, dude, then it really kind of feels – it just feels more aggressive. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, I was like, this is kind of getting aggressive, and it's kind of on us, and there's nothing else out here but us. We're nowhere near this place that we're trying to get to. Well, dude, I kind of get a little scared, and I remember Marty or Eric or one of them's like, punch it. And, dude, he's got a Chevrolet truck, a new Chevrolet truck, and dude, I freak out. Dude, I stomped the gas pedal, and I swear to God this happened. I stomped the gas pedal. That truck went nowhere. Just set still. I mean, we're doing probably 45. No engine malfunction. I mean, no engine function whatsoever above what we were doing. It was like, no. You're holding right here at this speed. And, dude, these things just kept going, kept dancing. And I finally got to a road, like a dirt road, and I snatched a right, took a right. I mean, I ran from this thing. Like, this was not the pathway to where we were going, because I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but I do not want to engage with whatever it's doing, because it was all getting closer, getting more aggressive. And, dude, we took a right. We kept going down the road. It disappeared. I mean, that was it. I mean, it's like, whatever. That could have been X, Y, or Z. But, dude, I was the one driving that truck. I was the one that stomped that gas pedal to the floor, and we went nowhere. You know what I mean?
Good Lord. That would scare the fire out of me, too. Goodness gracious.
Marty can – I bet he comments on this show. He was there. And like I said,
yeah. All right, Marty, leave a comment on this.
Dude could weld. I mean, he could build anything at 16, 17 years old. You know what I mean? He's just
wow.
You know. So anyway, man, that's my major deal that really kind of freaked me out. I mean, I was kind of shook the rest of the night. You know.
Well, I guess freaking so. I'm kind of shook hearing
quite
it.
Two-stepping like I should be. I was missing a step or two the rest of the night.
Because in that time when the truck would not accelerate, you could have been abducted. There's no telling what could have happened. And maybe time stood still. That's the thing that, hey, you know, I believe that's kind of my takeaway from last week, and listening back to it, because I have to edit it and listen to all that. Listening back to the show, I'm like, damn, okay, my whole takeaway on this is, I'm hearing myself now talk, is I absolutely believe in aliens. I believe there's extraterrestrial life, and I believe that we're not alone, and it's being obvious to me that there's some kind of message that we're supposed to be receiving, or it has been received. Who knows? That's the thing. We're not big wigs that are gonna know what the hell's happening with all of this stuff. So,
no, not at all, man. Like we've probably got a calculator. You know what I mean? Like, we've got a calculator, and they've got this advanced AI computer. Like, if you want to talk about, you know, like, ability to even understand and think. You know, what can a calculator do? It can't process any of that. We can't either. Like, it's just like, well, I don't understand how. No, dude, they're so far. Like, why don't we see them on radar more often? What? Because, dude, there's no telling how far they make it to us. They're that much further advanced than us, and it's like, and obviously they're not trying to attack us. You know, they're just checking us out. Look at these idiots.
No.
You know, it's like, it's us watching like an ant mound in our yard. You know, like, look at these ants over here. Look at the worker ant. You know, they're kind of cool. You know, like guy can carry it. You know, like, that's neat.
They build stuff. Look, they're building these skyscrapers.
Look at these people building stuff.
I mean, we're not going to go off on another tangent and go back into a whole nother show on it. But yeah, I wanted to hear your take. Thank you for sharing that story with us. That would have absolutely fit in perfect last week on that show.
And I thought about it. It's like,
that is
whatever,
insane.
man. I don't care what anybody thinks. I was there. Marty was there.
Right.
Eric Bryan was there. We were all there, and we know what happened that night. Now, Eric's the only person that accused me of not punching the gas. And it's like, dude, I'm the scaredest dude on earth. If something gets weird, I'm running. And that's what I was trying to do, was run. And I could not run, and I did not like it, you know? So, sorry, Eric. You know, you saw the same thing I saw, and I was not happy about it. So.
Yeah, well, I'm sure everybody be on the lookout in the comments on Tigs Bits Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X. and all those places, and our website, of course, at tigsbets.com. But look, one last thing before we sign off here, Chad. This is fresh. It just came out. I believe it came out maybe today or yesterday, but I watched it this evening. It's not a little over an hour. It's the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix.
Oh, I have not even seen it. I cannot wait to watch that.
I didn't have to say any more, did I?
I mean, man.
And I'm going to tell you, it is what you think it would be. It is what you would think it would be.
So it's on Netflix?
It's great. It's on Netflix.
Oh,
yep.
I will be in there watching that tonight.
I'm going to watch it again. I mean, it was.
Oh my gosh!
I was watching. I had it on the background, doing a little prep for this extremely organized show that we've just put on.
Dude, he took the country by storm. Johnny football.
Yeah,
dude, you know what I mean?
It was unbelievable.
If it was in today's, how much money would he make on an NIL deal? Like, he could easily, I bet he would have cleared $20 million in today's value in a year easily everything that they were trying to get him to do. And
how much would Joe Burrow have made? You're right. Same numbers, but Joe Burrow was crazy, of course, and I'm partial to that, but going back 100,000-foot view, that Johnny football stuff was madness.
The madness around him was madness. That's just it, And hey, I do want to. I know since JR's not here tonight to close us out with Charlie Daniels, thought I might close us out tonight with a little Jerry Clower.
Oh,
now a lot of you may or may not be familiar with Jerry Clower, but he's an old Southern guy from Mississippi. He claims he's from, I believe around Liberty, Mississippi. And he grew up in an area with this family, the Ledbetters, and so he tells these stories about the Ledbetters, and they're not so much jokes but stories. And collectively, when you listen to them, they become funnier over time because it's just, stories about these country folks in the middle of nowhere and crazy events happening. So since it's so hot, and it's, we're in the middle of summer. I just stepped out of this while I just stepped out of the studio, and my gosh, it's so hot outside still right now. Yeah, it's crazy. So it got me to thinking about that summer. It was that summer in Liberty, Mississippi. And all they had there was a volunteer fire department. It had been a big drought. And they knew if a building had caught on fire there in Liberty, Mississippi, it was going to burn to the ground and might burn the whole town down. Well, one Saturday evening, a building caught on fire. And the folks had done gathered around there, watching the building burn, screaming, "Oh, the building's burning down. It's going to burn the town." And about that time, here come Uncle Versey on his truck. Him and that pet, they had Ardell, Barnell, Raynell, W.L., Linnell, Odell, Udell, Marcel, Claude, Eugene, and Clovis, the whole bunch, all the kids on the truck. Here they come flying into town, the truck fenders flopping off the thing, floppity, floppity, floppity. They thought they was coming in a little hot there. The crowd parted. Here come Uncle Versa. He drove up on the curb right into the middle of the fire. They jumped out, proceeded to take off the overall jumpers and stomping, slapping. Aunt Pet out there with her bonnet saying, "Stomp over here, stomp over there." And the Ledbetters, they stomped the fire out. The folks went crazy. Uncle Versey and the Ledbetters, y'all are heroes. Y'all have saved the town. They got a hat and took up a collection. They raised $31. They took it over there to Uncle Versey. Said, "Uncle Versey, what you gonna do with the money?" And Uncle Versey said, "Well, the first thing I'm going to do is get the brakes fixed on that truck."
Oh, man.
And there it is, Jerry Clower. I'm going to bring a few more of these. And I said, over time, when you get another Ledbetters, go check him out if you hadn't ever. Jerry Clower. You can find him on YouTube. I love him, dude. He used to make me giggle,
Oh, absolutely,
love the Ledbetter
man.
stories.
Him and Ray Stevens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, look, I ain't got nothing any better than that. We're going to end it there. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Come back next week. We'll see you.